Alright, what's going on? Last time I made one of these videos, I had a bunch of problems with like the brightness throughout the entirety of the video. Which hopefully how I'm recording this time will correct that, because the quality of that last video was really bad, which I do apologize for. I guess in the end it was my fault, but you know, it also is something that's rarely ever been a problem before. So we're back with another one of these stupid fucking videos. Yeah, just basically, again, out of boredom, want something to edit, because we're entering the, I think, 5th week, maybe 6th week now of not working, and it has done a tremendous amount of damage to my my brain. But I do have something quite exciting to show you guys right off the bat, and that's this guy here. This is my new baby. Ever since I had the last one, I've been dying for another Dalmatian. Kaylee's birthday's in a couple weeks as well, so he's kind of a birthday present, but he's for me too. His name is Orlock, which I think if you follow me on Instagram you already know, but he's so precious. Though he's a puppy and he's got a bunch of energy, so I'm gonna pass him off to his mom now, because I can't do this with him running around my feet. Say bye! Alright, let's get into it, man. This one, unlike most of the ones I've been doing recently, just doesn't have a theme. Though there's really only 2 genres I'm going to be talking about today. Black metal and like more traditional heavy metal. But what we're listening to in the background is completely unrelated. I've been on a big like darkwave kick, but I've sort of found some like post-punk stuff that I've liked quite a bit as well, which is sort of in the same vein. So in the background we got this going. Again, it's vinyl, so I'm gonna have to flip it probably a couple times, but this is Molchat Doma, which is probably not how you say it. This band's from like Belarus or something. This is absolutely fucking fantastic, and I'll talk more about this in a future video. Alright, and with that, let's get to it. First thing here is a quite a big expansive release. 3 LPs, and I think this is like a triple gatefold as well. This is Beketh Nexamu with D for Dolda Klingorna. So if you're not familiar with what this is, I guess to summarize, this is like a demo that was back in 2014, originally on tape, and I don't know that all of this that is included in this release here was on that 2014 demo. It looks like probably not, because in here it says some tracks were recorded all the way back in 2010 and 11. But I know that the majority of this, at least, came from a demo that was released in 2014. Now, the black metal tracks on this were re-recorded. I guess the sound quality was bad enough that even Beketh Nexamu decided that it shouldn't be put out there again. So black metal tracks are re-recorded. The ambient tracks are the original sound quality. But like I said, this is quite expansive, and this is over 2 hours of music. And I guess instead of my fucking shitty summary, I could have just read what it says right here. D4 Dolda Klingorna was originally released as a demo compilation on cassette in 2014 with some songs cut off. So I guess this is just that with all of the songs included. But like I just said, 2 hours of music. Great fucking atmosphere, as with literally everything that Beketh Nexamu has ever done. I don't know, it sounds a little bit different than like standard Beketh Nexamu stuff, but at its core, this is cold, thin, ambient black metal. But you know, with this genre of music, it does sort of limit what you can actually say about it without sounding repetitive. But I think all you guys know what Beketh Nexamu sounds like. So let me show you what this thing looks like, because it's really nice. There is the front cover there. It's actually, I think, the only Beketh Nexamu album cover that doesn't have snowy trees on it. There's the back cover right there with the more typical style of art for Beketh Nexamu. All the track listings, which you can see there's quite a bit, put out through Amorfati, and I think you can actually get this right now through, I think maybe Expansion Abyss has them. The repress, which is on white vinyl. This is actually not, this is the black vinyl version. But this does fold out. That's all the information right there, kind of explaining what this is and when the tracks were recorded. Little collage of photos on that side. And then you have a bunch of lyrics and a picture of the main man right there, Swartadathis, or whatever the fuck. And there's really no reason to pull these out. It is just black vinyl. All the labels are pretty much identical, so fucking cool. But yeah, super nice quality. You can see they have a new logo, I guess. I don't know if that's ever been used on any previous anything. Yeah, really nice quality. I think there was 500 copies on black vinyl. Like I said, it just got repressed on white vinyl. I don't know what the limitation on that is. And though you're all familiar with Beketh Nexmu, I'm sure, if you're not, check it out. That's D4 Dolda Klangorna. Alright, next up here we have a die-hard version of one of the very many super fun heavy metal bands. This is Metal Lucifer with Heavy Metal Bulldozer. If you're not familiar with Metal Lucifer, like I said, it is like straightforward heavy metal. Formed in like Japan, I think in like 1995 or 6 or 4 or something. And this is the third full-length album from 2009 following Heavy Metal Drill and Heavy Metal Chainsaw. And I always said that Heavy Metal Chainsaw was probably my favorite by Metal Lucifer, but I honestly think that Heavy Metal Bulldozer here probably takes the cake. Now, as you can see, this is absolutely absurd, and it's that way all the way through. And I'm not going to talk too much about it because there's a lot to show here. I will say, fantastic fucking riffs, and I love the vocals too. The really high wails are cool. The more straightforward, just like heavy metal singing vocals are awesome as well. I think it's the same vocalist from the band Sabat, I think. Now this is the Die Hard, and what the Die Hard comes with is the original Japanese version, but it also comes with the English version, which it says on the side, Evil English version. So let me show you what these look like, because they're both like standalone gatefold jackets. Yeah, Neil Tanaka is on the cover of a lot of the like Metal Lucifer stuff. He's on a bulldozer, which is cool. There's the back cover right there. You have the actual band members. Both of these, like I said, are gatefolds. All the lyrics, you have, these are of course the Japanese lyrics here, so I can't read any of this shit. And here's the English version here. It's just a different front cover. Different back cover as well. But all the song titles, all the actual lyrics are in English, and it's, you know, it's actually sung in English on this version, which I prefer simply because I can actually follow along. And another thing about Metal Lucifer is pretty much every song on here is heavy metal something, and that's pretty much true throughout a lot of the Metal Lucifer stuff. Heavy Metal Iron Fist, Heavy Metal Bulldozer, Heavy Metal Battle Axe, Heavy Metal Warriors, Heavy Metal Highway Rider, Heavy Metal Mountain, Heavy Metal Wings of Steel. Yeah, it just goes on. I personally think it's fucking awesome. The English version is my preferred version of this thing, both in like the actual content of the record and in the color of the record itself, because this is really pretty. I don't have anything that looks quite like this. Double LP, both of them look like this. Neil Tanaka, Heavy Metal Hunter, seal of approval there. There's the other side right there, and it's double LP for both versions, so that's the English version. And the Japanese version looks like this, which is also really fucking cool. It also comes with a sticker, a patch, and a poster. You can get these still through Nuclear War Now, I'm sure. It's actually a really fucking relatively cheap for all the shit you get. The poster is absurd, which is why I love it. And it also comes with a DVD. Metal Lucifer Live in Japan 2010. I have not watched this. I have seen Metal Lucifer footage on like YouTube before, and it is fucking hilarious. Anyway, great shit. I like it a whole lot. My favorite song on here is probably the title track, Heavy Metal Bulldozer. I love the riff in that song. Yeah, fucking gnarly, man. If you haven't heard it, it's a lot of fun, like I said. So check it out if it strikes your fancy at all. It's Metal Lucifer with Heavy Metal Bulldozer. Alright, moving on to something entirely different. Well, entirely different from Metal Lucifer for sure. This is Osselensbrigg with Glacial Conjuration. This is a band that formed probably in like 2016, and they've created a very densely packed discography between now and 2017. 2 full-length albums, a couple demos, a couple splits, shit like that. And this is a full-length album that came out last year, following the first full-length album from the year before, which was called The Quest for Star Mountain. And I would say that album is definitely like far more raw, but I would say it's also a bit more diverse than this one, but we'll talk about that. If you've never heard this band, it's very raw and noisy, which I like that, but there's very little in the way of diversity throughout the content on this record. There's only 4 songs. I think it's around 40 minutes long, but you can kind of skip to any part of it, and it sounds very similar to wherever you skipped from. One of the things I do prefer about this album over the debut is the vocals. The vocals are very loud in their mix. They're very croaky, super fucking nasty sounding. But for me, that's kind of the highlight. It sort of fits in quite nicely, actually, with you know, some of the other Portuguese raw black metal bands that you could think of. Which, from what I understand, this actually is part of like a circle of bands in Portugal. The only other one I'm familiar with is Ordem Satanica. But yeah, I don't know. Really fucking good though. Despite it being sort of monotonous, it's actually quite a good record. The album cover is super fucking cool, by the way. Just this shadowy figure walking in the snow. Back cover right there. Again, just 4 tracks. It says 250 copies. I don't know if they were all on black. Something is telling me there was also a gray version, but I know there was a gray version of the debut, so maybe that's what I'm confusing it with. Just black vinyl. Nothing interesting on the labels or anything like that. You also get a little sheet. It's just got a picture on this side, and on this side, I don't know, there might be lyrics, maybe. I don't know, I haven't bothered like reading this, trying to follow along with any part of the record or anything like that. But if you like raw black metal, then this one's definitely worth a shot. I like it quite a bit. I had actually seen the name around a bunch of times before I ever listened to it. Then Kevin lit a fire under my ass, like he's done a bunch of times before. And yeah, fucking gnarly, man. Hopefully you guys enjoy what you hear in the little sound clip, because this is pretty readily available right now. Yeah, awesome. Check it out. Osselensbrigg, Glacial Conjuration. Next one is a record that came out a long time ago, back in 1996. And this is actually a band, again, that I've never talked about before. This is Forest with the self-titled debut album, Forest. So this is a Russian band, I guess sort of Blazebirth Hall fame. I don't know, the only other Blazebirth Hall band that I really know is Ravendark, which I have one of the cassettes for that, but that's all I have. And I know there's quite a bit of it in total, though I do think that this is the only like Blazebirth Hall release that's ever been put on vinyl. And I'm probably wrong about that. So according to the back cover here, it says recorded at Blazebirth Hall in 1994 and 1996. 1994, from what I understand, is just when this band formed. And they did have a demo that came out, I think, in the same year. And a lot of those songs, and I think maybe even all of those songs, were also on the demo. And according to what I saw, the demo is actually longer than the full-length album is. I don't know for certain, because I don't have any other version of this, if this includes the extra songs that weren't on the initial album. I don't know, but this it does say it was remastered in 2017. I'm sure in large, you guys are probably familiar with this album. If you're not, the best way to sort of sum it up is the songs are typically very repetitive. The riffs are repetitive. Very mid-paced, trancey black metal. Vocals range between harsh vocals and like clean singing. The clean singing is not good, but it fits with, you know, everything else that's going on. I think it just works. But this is just a fun record. I like it quite a bit. I actually had to get 2 of these because the first one came completely fucking mangled by fucking USPS. There was actually 2 records in 2 weeks that showed up. Just fucked beyond repair. So I had to send the jacket back. Somehow the actual LPs survived. I had to send the jacket back and got another one. But yeah, album cover right there. Just some fucking trees. There's the back cover right there. It sort of mentions what was recorded in 94 and 96. This is a darker than black repress of this one. Initially, I think this one was put out, the LP was put out through Werewolf Records, and I think the subsequent releases were through Ragnarok. But yeah, this is a repress from last year. It does come with a inner sheet which has lyrics, and the gatefold itself has some of whatever the fuck this says. It's not in English. But double LP, black vinyl. Labels are uninteresting. There you go. If you haven't heard it, check it out. Good fucking record. It's certainly not like a highlight in my collection or anything. This won't go down as like one of my favorite albums ever or anything like that, but it's a really good, fun record. I'm sure you've heard it. If not, check that shit out, man. Forest. The last thing we're going to talk about here is another heavy metal album, actually. And this is a super fun record as well, which I think is just a quality that heavy metal as a genre fundamentally has. This is Armor with the self-titled full-length album, Armor. So this is a band that existed between 2006 and 2016 and only ever put out 1 full-length album, which was this. But, however, this band did have a bunch of releases. I mean, like, they, between the years of like 2007 to 2012 or something like that, they were putting out multiple releases every year. Another notable thing about this band is that throughout the history of this band's existence, it was made up of a lot of really notable band members from other like bigger bands. The one that stuck around the whole time is Werewolf from Satanic Warmaster and a bunch of other fucking bands as well, obviously. But he is the frontman for this band. He does all the vocals, and you'd never know it just from pretty much everything else he does. But it's really fucking cool. I mean, this is basically just 80s heavy metal worship. It's got the attitude of it, and it's got the energy to match it. It's really fucking good, man. I'm sure you guys have probably heard this one as well. I've always kind of been curious about this band, but I just never fucking picked any of it up. Don't know why. Now I have this, and I have a 7-inch as well. The album cover also looks like something that would have existed in the 80s. This is a 2010 Primitive Reaction press of this one. There's the back cover right there. With all the band members who played on this album, and that's Werewolf right there. This is a gatefold. You got all the lyrics on one side and a picture of the band playing live, and in the corners, pictures of all 4 band members. The vinyl is just black. Those are the labels. The only cool thing about it is right here, 33 RPM, says play loud. Yeah, really fucking cool. I don't know if I have a favorite song on this one, though Heavy Metal Drinkers is definitely a good one. The very final song on the album. Yeah, dude, if you like heavy metal, I'm very picky about it myself, which is why you don't really hear me talk about it all that much. But every now and then I'll find some shit that I really like this or Metal Lucifer. Yeah, really fucking cool, man. If you never heard it, check it out. That's Armor. And that's it. 5 more records down. I'm gonna hopefully have this edited tonight and I can put it up tomorrow. Yeah, lots more to come. Thanks for watching, guys, and talk soon. Later.